All right, guys, what's up? Not much. Working on the cars, late nights. Yeah, it's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning, but we're just getting out here, getting a video out. I saw the comments. Everybody's like, "Where you been?" I know. I'm working on it. Well, here's the process. Here's what happened. A couple weeks ago, you guys knew the RSX blew up. I thought I blew something up in the transmission or the clutch. It happened to be the transmission. I did have a built transmission in here, so I was like, it's probably not the transmission. It's got to be the clutch. Ended up, the clutch is good. I ended up blowing because I had to upgrade it first and second, and then the rest of the gears were stock. I ended up blowing second completely. I destroyed that. Broke third gear, and then still broke the third gear slider, messed up the synchros and everything. So I don't know what I was doing. I was doing a burnout, and I guess it let go. Not to name the company that I had the transmission from, that I got the built transmission upgraded first and second from. I had the transmission in the car for 8 years. It did let go. I don't know if it was a manufacturer defect. I know that this transmission was rated for, I'm going to say maybe 4 to 5 times what the power that I have. So I don't think it was the car's fault. I think it was more of the manufacturer's fault. But I mean, I have had the transmission in the car for 8 years. You guys do know I drive it hard. So who knows? It could have been the manufacturer's fault. Could have been my fault. Maybe I was driving too hard. Shouldn't have happened, but it is what it is. So I got this car back on the road. I was going to put a factory transmission back in it just because I had one laying over there. I was going to drop it in, but then I was just like, if you had the upgraded one and it broke, you might as well get another upgraded one. So, but then I already just put straight cut gears in that car like 3 months ago. So I was kind of like, I don't want to spend money on straight cut gears again. So I guess I was just like, screw it. Ordered another built transmission for this thing. So I have built 1 through 4 in here, upgraded final drive, final, what is it? Diff, LSD, everything. So the transmission is basically another built transmission that I have in this car now. So hopefully we will never, ever have another transmission issue in this car again, because the transmission is probably rated for like 8 times of what I actually make. So that's the RSX. It should be back. I really haven't even drove it that much. I kind of just put the transmission in because this is like my kind of weekend or daily, whenever I feel like driving it. So I had to get this car back on the road soon because I didn't want to leave it down. Like everything else in here, project cars, who cares if it doesn't run, but this is kind of my street car. So I needed to be able to drive it. So I just spent the money, screw it. It's back on the road. I need to actually go get some test drives in it. I just drove it just around the block and it seemed to work, but now back to other projects. So that car is good. A little update on that. I know you guys are like, you need to get some videos in it. I know it's driving now. I got to still test it, do some hits. We'll see how it works. This thing, update on this. For building a car from scratch, I mean, like swapping it, I have not had an issue. It's been a couple months now. No issues with the car. It's been running great. I'm still on pump gas. I've been doing a little street tuning. It makes good power. Everything's, doing okay. I kind of just want to beat it into the ground, I guess on pump gas before I switch over to race gas. And then we really, cut the boost up and see what it'll do. So in the process, the only thing that has broken on this car since I've had it is I snapped an axle already. I'm still on stock axles. I don't have, I think upgraded axles for this thing cost like $2,500, just realistically between built trans. I ain't got that type of money for, $2,500 for 2 axles. We're just going to run on the stock axles. We'll see what it does. So I broke an axle, but I replaced that already. The only other problem I have is when I'm switching over to race gas, I'm going to have 2 fuel pumps on. And that's the issue that we're probably going to hit today with the fuel system. So I got 2 tanks. each tank is running off a pump, and right now I'm on pump gas, so I'm only pulling just one tank right now just to kind of get the car driving around. But the problem arose when I wired up the second tank to the ECU and I got it to cut on. I was having issues like basically fuel spikes. And I couldn't really control the fuel pressure. So I think what's going on is there's so much fuel coming out of here that I think the return line is too small for our fuel pressure regulator down here. So that's one of our issues. I don't know if you guys can see that down here. Yeah, fuel pressure regulator. It's an AEM one, looks legit, hopefully. Should be good, but we're having some fuel pressure issues. So I'm thinking the return line's too small. That's just my first thought. So I'm gonna upgrade the return line, and then we will see if that fixes our fuel pressure issue, because the car's doing good. Like on pump gas, one fuel pump, it does great. But as soon as I try to ramp in the second pump, it's just like the fuel pressure is kind of just running away on me. So let's go check out my upgraded lines. All right, so here's our old fuel pressure line, and this is our new, a lot bigger fuel pressure line. And this is our size difference. So this right here was the original size of the return line, and that is the new size. So hopefully we move a lot more fuel and we don't have that issue. So I guess what I'm gonna do is we'll make this line up real quick, hook this up, and then we'll go, let's go ahead and test it to see if it works. All right, guys. Big fat boy line is in here. I think we are good to go now. Can you see down there? Maybe. If not, we tried. All right, well, yeah, big boy line is in there. I just tested it. I think we're good. The fuel pressure did drop a lot when you run the two pumps. So I think we're good. Hopefully this fixes it. I'm gonna do some street tests tomorrow. Yeah, so if it doesn't fuel spike, then we might switch over to race gas and then get off of pump gas, and then guess we'll see what this thing can do, right? All right, guys. Yeah, next video, who knows? We'll just keep it rolling when we get the time. Later.